the alley-oops at Kezar to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. Welcome to the show. Really excited about this one. I'm going to be talking about Christian McCaffrey and some recent comments he made that are going to shine a light on a lot of really good news for the San Francisco 49ers, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, because Christian McCaffrey was at the Dwight Clark Awards. It was a Dwight Clark Legacy Series event. And of course, we've heard a lot of things come out of this, a lot of audio from Kyle Shanahan talking about the quarterback situation, and a lot of audio just from players as well. But one of the things that Christian McCaffrey said, and you can read the full article. I mean, I seen this. Ken Inman put it on San Jose Mercury News. It's pretty in depth about some of the feelings about it, but I had my own ideas as well about some of the things he said and how exactly that plays into helping the San Francisco 49ers in the future. But what he said is, in hindsight, I firmly believe it's the best thing that ever happened to me. The best thing that ever happened to him. And I don't know if he means personally or, as far as being an athlete and playing football. I'm guessing it's the latter. But why exactly would it be the best thing that ever happened to him? Well, I think when he's referring to the best thing, it's not just the way that Kyle Shanahan was going to use him, even though, that has proved to be fantastic. Christian McCaffrey's numbers went through the roof, yet his total number of touches didn't go as crazy as when he had those similar numbers with Carolina during his MVP type season. So what he's talking about is culture. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about the way that everyone treats each other in the locker room. The way that everyone gets along. He said it takes everybody. This is the biggest team game in the world, and it gets so much individual attention. He says you've got guys named the GOAT, and this and that. It's true and it's great, but no one is anybody without their teammates in this game. That's what makes it so special. That's why people watch. That's why we love to play it. All those game-defining moments, that starts now. So he's laying it out there pretty consistently that he believes it's a team game. And the biggest thing that ever happened to him was coming into a team that had those same sort of feelings. How they took him on and really worked him in. He's already becoming a leader. He's only been with the 49ers for 7 months, but he's becoming a leader on the football team. And you can see him. He goes out with some of the players and they hang out. He has relationships with George Kittle. He has relationships with other players on the team. And that is really good. Him and Kyle Juszczyk are close. So what they're doing is they're showing how good of a culture that is. And that's good news, because if you want sustained success, you've got to produce a culture in which players want to play in. And a team like this that is willing to take in all players, that don't have ego, that's willing to step aside, take a lesser role to bring in a player that could potentially maximize their abilities, but also win football games. When you're buying into winning football games, it changes everything. If you're buying into just getting your next contract, buying into getting your stats, you're probably going to have some problems. But what do we consistently hear? George Kittle talks about the fact he loves blocking. He loves being active in those categories. He loves when other players make plays. It was the NFC Championship game in 2019 where he said, let's not even throw again. Let's just keep running. That selflessness is what you like. Deebo Samuel knew last year when they got Christian McCaffrey, he was going to get less touches. He was okay with it because he wants to win a Super Bowl. That's what it's about. Now, of course, these guys are still going to get paid. They're still going to make their money, but it's so big, for them that it's great. And Kyle Shanahan had some great comments about Christian McCaffrey as well. He says it makes it easier. It calms your mind a little bit. You don't have to make so much stuff up. He said everyone is, you got him now. How creative are you going to be? It's like, you don't have to be as creative. The defense has got to help the guy guarding him. That's where it's cool. That's why I love it so much. It just spaces everything out. He really makes it easier to get the ball to George Kittle, to Deebo Samuel, to Brandon Ayuk, to Jawan Jennings. As a play caller, I'm not as stressed because you just let it happen. I don't care what the defenses do. You guys pick your poison, go ahead and double him. So the same way that Christian McCaffrey was coming in and experiencing everyone, taking him in and making him a part of the group, his effect on the field was helping all those same guys that were bringing him in. It's a culture of engagement. It's a culture of welcoming. It's a culture of you're going to help me and I'm going to help you. That's exactly what you want. That's how you build a football team. That's how you build a family-like environment. And that's exactly what you have to have. And Christian McCaffrey says, I say this with the utmost respect. This is a family. It's the first time I felt like even alumni, just getting to know these guys, it's special, it's different. And there's a reason it's sustainable and has been for so long. The word I would use now is just very proud to be a part of this organization. And I think as fans, we can be proud of the same sort of thing. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have built a organization that is about family and about bringing players together. And that started a long time ago. And we've seen that from Eddie DeBartolo to Bill Walsh and to all the players that have played. Jerry Rice being on the sidelines during games and interacting with the current players, or Steve Young coming out and talking to them as well. It has been an environment of inclusion. And the 49ers, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, did that when they first came in 2017. And they said, any player that wants to be out here can come out here and interact with these players and can come in the locker room. We want to see that. We want them to understand that. And we've seen that culture come, and you've got to give credit to them for who they've drafted as well. Drafting these players of great character like George Kittle and Fred Warner and Trey Lance has definitely done a good job. And then when they added players like Christian McCaffrey and Trent Williams, they added more players to free agency, but guys who had the right attitude and the right mental state to keep the attitude and culture going. It's a very sustainable thing. And when it acts like this, it can make a huge impact because you're not just playing for yourself, you're playing for the guy next to you. And that is a big mantra in football. And I think the 49ers have figured it out. They've done a good job. And here came a guy from the outside who had tremendous success with another football team and another organization that is saying, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me professionally. And I think that's big time for the San Francisco 49ers, and that's big time for Christian McCaffrey. So I'm excited about how this 49ers culture continues to grow and what that means for the future, because just because players change, it doesn't mean the culture changes as long as the culture comes from the top. And I think it's pretty evident that it does. Sustainability is what Christian McCaffrey discussed as well. And that's something the 49ers have been doing, sustaining the winning culture, but also the culture of welcoming everyone into their group, everyone battling to get better, a culture of competitiveness, but also a culture of, hey, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you get better. It's absolutely fantastic. I love Christian McCaffrey's words that he said, and a lot of it had to do with culture, not so much field, and he provides so much to the field as well, just like Kyle Shanahan mentioned. He makes it easier on everyone else, and I think he's going to make it even better with his attitude and leadership in the locker room. Really looking forward and excited to this season. Can't wait to see what it means for Christian McCaffrey after a full season playing for the San Francisco 49ers, because he is dynamic with the ball in his hands, and he's going to make it easier for all the other players. The 49ers definitely now have the talent to go out and win a Super Bowl, and they've already proven just from the comments that Christian McCaffrey made that they have the ability in the locker room and culture to be a Super Bowl caliber football team. So thank you guys so much for watching the episode. If you would please like the video, I'd really appreciate that. Let me know what you think about Christian McCaffrey's comments, and do you think culture is very important for an organization, for stability, and also for sustainability? And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Push for 4,000. Doing pretty well, and I'm thankful for everyone that has taken the opportunity to subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. And you know what? There's a lot more content coming your way. But until then, stay safe and remember the right way is always the 49ers.